Welcome back to the table. Last episode, we talked about brotherhood, about connection, about the drift that happens between men. Today, I want to talk about something different. Not loneliness, not anger, exhaustion. The kind that doesn't show up as collapse. The kind that shows up as functioning. Going to work, paying bills, handling responsibility, building something, trying to be steady. But underneath it all, you're tired. Not sleepy tired, carrying it all tired. You can have structure. You can have discipline. You can have your life dialed in and still feel heavy. Because some of us are carrying work, financial pressures, expectations, self-doubt, and legacy. And we don't say it out loud. So today, let's talk about it. Pull up a chair. There's a difference between doing a lot and carrying a lot. Most people look at a man's life and they see tasks. They see the job, the schedule, the responsibilities. But tasks aren't what exhaust you. It's the weight behind them. Because it's not just the job. It's thinking about the job when you're not there. It's thinking about what happens if you lose the job. It's thinking about what happens if you get hurt. It's thinking about what happens if something goes wrong and you're the one everyone looks at. That's the part people don't see. Even when I'm sitting at home, part of my mind is still calculating. How do I grow this? How do I build this? Is this enough? Am I doing enough? Am I building something that lasts? And it doesn't shut off automatically. That's what makes it heavy. Providing isn't just physical labor. It's mental load. It's carrying 5 different timelines in your head at once. Today, next month, next year, your kid's future, making sure they never feel instability, making sure they feel safe, making sure they feel secure. making sure they don't inherit fear. And if you're like me, you don't just want to provide. You want to build something. Something that outlives you. But here's what nobody tells you about carrying that kind of weight. It's invisible. Your wife doesn't always see the calculations running in your head. Your kids don't see the pressure you're managing internally. They just see you. And sometimes they feel the tension. Because when your brain never rests, your body doesn't either. Your tone changes. Your patience shortens. Your responses tighten. And a lot of the time, you don't even realize you're doing it. That's the real weight. Not the doing, but the carrying. And the hardest part about it all, it doesn't clock out. Even when you sit down. Even when the house is quiet. Even when everyone else is asleep. Your mind is still running. And if you don't learn how to regulate that, you start believing that constant tension is normal. And that's dangerous. Because tension feels productive. But it isn't sustainable. Then there's the expectations. And some of them are external. Society says, be strong, be steady, be the rock, don't complain, don't break, handle it. And most of us don't argue with that. We take it on. Because strength feels honorable. But what nobody talks about is the pressure that comes with always being the rock. Rocks don't get to crack. Rocks don't get to say they're tired. Rocks don't get to say, I don't know what I'm doing. And then there's the expectations we put on ourselves. And those are much louder. I should be further. I should have more figured out. I should be more established by now. I should own instead of rent. I should be ahead instead of catching up. That word should is very heavy. It sounds small, but it stacks. Husband, father, provider, builder, leader, protector. Each one of those carries weights. And sometimes the heaviest weight isn't the bills. It's that picture in your head of who you think you're supposed to be. And the quiet fear that maybe you're not there yet. That maybe you're behind. That maybe other men your age are further. And you don't say it out loud. Because comparison feels weak. But it's real. And when expectation meets self-doubt, that's when pressure turns into identity. And now you're not just carrying responsibility. You're carrying an image. And that image is exhausting. Here's the tension that I've been feeling lately. I'm trying to build something meaningful. This podcast, this space, this vision. And I believe in it. Not because it makes me money. Not because it makes me look good. But because I know men need it. I needed it. But while I'm building it, I don't want to miss my kids. That's the tension. Because building takes focus. It takes time. It takes energy. And kids don't pause when you're building. They're growing. They're changing. They're watching. And I don't want to look up one day and realize I was so focused on providing for them that I wasn't fully present with them. That's the fear that nobody talks about. It's not just, what if I fail? It's, what if I succeed and I still miss them? What if I build something big, but I wasn't there when they needed small moments? What if they remember the effort, but not the presence? Because when they're 25, I don't want them to be like me and say, Dad worked hard. I want them to say, Dad was there. Emotionally, mentally, and fully. That word fully is heavy. Because you can be physically present and mentally absent. You can sit at dinner and still be running projections in your head. You can tuck them in at night and still be replaying conversations from work. And that's when I realized something. The tension isn't about choosing work or family. It's about learning how to put the weight down temporarily. Because if you never put it down, you carry it into every room. And every room starts to feel heavy. So I've had to just find something for myself. What does being there actually mean? Because being there isn't just proximity. It's not grand gestures. It's not extravagant gifts. It's coaching. It's sitting at dinner. It's talking late at night when they need it. It's apologizing when I snap. And it's showing them how to handle stress instead of pretending I don't have any. And that last one hit me hard. Because I used to think being strong meant hiding stress. Now I realize being strong means regulating it. There's a big difference. Regulating means they see me breathe. They see me pause. They see me choose my tone. They see that pressure doesn't own me. And here's something else I noticed too. Being in the room is not the same as being available. I've been guilty of that. Sitting on the couch with them while my mind is at work still. Still planning. Still calculating. Still worrying. And they can feel it. Kids always feel it. They don't know the numbers. They don't know the projections. But they know the tension. And that's when I had to make a decision. I don't need to carry tomorrow while I'm sitting at the dinner table. Tomorrow will still be there. But this moment won't. So I made a decision, a small one. I'm shutting my phone off at dinner. Not silent, not face down, off. Because for that window of time, my only job is to be here. That doesn't mean I stopped caring about work. It means I stopped carrying it for 45 minutes. And that's when I realized something important. Strength isn't constant tension. Strength is sustainable rhythm. Now here's the truth. No one asked us to carry everything. Some of it we inherited. Some of it we assumed. Some of it we picked out of fear. Fear of not providing. Fear of looking weak. Fear of falling behind. And some of it isn't even ours. We carry other people's expectations, other people's timelines, other people's definitions of success. And we call it responsibility. But responsibility doesn't mean isolation. Being the man of the house doesn't mean being the only one holding it up. Carrying it all isn't about holding everything alone. It's about carrying yourself in a way that feels safe to stand next to. That line changed how I see things. Because my kids don't need Superman. They need steady. They don't need me exhausted and irritable. They need me regulated. They don't need intensity. They need consistency. They don't need a hero. They need a father who can breathe. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do as a man is put something down. Not quit. Not abandon. Just put it down long enough to remember. Remember that you're a human being before you're a machine. Because if you carry everything all of the time, you will break. And if you break, the house falls apart. And they feel it. So the question isn't, how much can I hold? It's, what am I willing to carry? And what am I finally willing to put down? If you're tired, it doesn't mean you're weak. It probably means you've been responsible for a very long time. But responsibility without rhythm turns into burnout. So tonight, ask yourself, what can I put down? Even temporarily. What weight am I carrying that doesn't need to be in my hands right now? You don't have to stop building. You don't have to stop providing. You don't have to stop caring. Just learn when to set it down. Carry what's yours. Release what isn't. And build something steady, not something heavy. If this episode helped you breathe a little easier, follow the show. Leave a review. Share it with another man who's carrying more than he says out loud. If you want a place to actually talk about this stuff, the Roundtable Brotherhood private group is open. And if you want deeper conversations, bonus episodes, and more structure around this kind of growth, you can join me on Patreon. We're building this slowly, intentionally, steady. Thanks for pulling up a chair. I'll see you next time at the Roundtable for Men.